Good morning everyone, hi. This video is special, this is an Q&A. About a month or so ago, I have asked, what should I do for 800 subs? And Toska said, do an Q&A. I said, but people barely comment. And he said, no, then I will make a bunch of questions. And I said, alright. So yes, this is what we are gonna do now. I know that we are already at 1,000 subs. At 1,100, that's, oh my gosh. But either way, Q&A, yes. If you guys like this video, you should thank Toska, because this is only happening because of him. So the very first question is from Saleh77. What's the best thing you liked about PS2? I mean, this isn't a personal question like I was expecting, but the main thing I liked about PS2 is the lore. I think it's amazing, like the whole like crawling one stuff and the Wonderland being like that, because it's created specifically for Lewis Carroll. I think it's honestly amazing. I also like the characters a lot. A lot. They are extremely enjoyable, extremely well made. The Jub event where she kills everyone wouldn't really work if the characters weren't that good, you know. So yes, I think Toro did an amazing job. Kirkwin C2L asked, Shargasti, what is your favorite game? My favorite game is Hollow Knight Song. I've already said it before. It's amazing. The gameplay is so great. Metroidvanias are so great. The art is so beautiful. I honestly don't know how this game didn't win Game of the Year. Bullshit. What is your least favorite? I don't really have my least favorite game. But there are games that I don't really like. Like, let's say, clinical trial, for instance. I don't really like clinical trial, to be honest. It was very boring. Extremely boring, and the lore is bullshit. Also, what is, in your opinion, the most annoying kind of person you can come across? The most annoying person you can ever find is that kind of person that never, they believe they are always right and they never commit mistakes. When they do, it's you that has to say you're sorry. As this kind of person is extremely annoying, and the worst part is that it's actually quite common to find this kind of person. No? Most people are so full of themselves that they never admit they made a mistake. Now Toska made a bunch of questions. I think he did at least 50 questions. Oh my gosh. Then we are going to answer some of his questions. Then we stop. We are gonna answer the questions of Miss Umbra, and then we go back to his questions. What's a small habit that you do that makes your day noticeably better? I usually like I like to it's silly, but I from time to time, like at least once a day, I go and open YouTube Studio or some message app that I have, and I just read again the happy moments I had. That let's say I talked with someone and that talk was really nice and I felt good during it. Then what I do is simply go back and read it again. Remember the moment, you know. It may be silly, but it's something that actually it's really nice, you know. People only focus on the bad aspects of life and the bad memories. But if you just try to remember your good memories, you can. And it may sound silly and pointless, but it's actually something that really, really makes you feel better. You remember that moment and you think, oh man, this was so great, so happy. And you don't think, but it's sad that it came to an end, because it doesn't have to come to an end, you know. Every day you have of sadness, happiness. It's just how life works, but you will eventually have better moments. If you could relive 1 hour of your life unchanged, which would it be? Honestly, that's a curious question. If you had said like which moment of your life you would like to relive, um, then I guess I would have an answer, but an hour in specific, I don't really have one. Although I suppose that I would probably say the I know the movie is longer than an hour, but I would say that I would like to relive the moment I watched Alice in Wonderland for the very first time. You know, it it really felt magical. What's something you know you should do more often but rarely do? I should draw more often and like actually write down my ideas, because like I have a bunch of ideas but I don't really write them down, you know. I just kind of leave everything in my memory, never really drawing or writing them. But I know I should do it. If I forget about something, I'm screwed. And of course, I'm not going to get better at drawing if I don't draw. But the real problem is that like I drawing. I feel bad when I like drawing a lot, but I sometimes feel bad when I do it, because I don't like the result. And I know, of course, but I guess you aren't going to get better if you don't draw more often. I know. The thing is, the moments where I'm happy, I'm smiling, it's already short-lived. So uh, I really don't feel like making it an even shorter just for just for drawing, you know. Once a scent that instantly brings you back to a certain memory. There are a few of these, but the most frequently the most common ones are like there's a just the smell of, I think the foreigners won't understand this, but in my country it's really common to eat rice and beans together. It's extremely common. It's something that we eat almost every day, you know. And every time I feel the smell of rice and beans, I remember of a specific moment of my childhood. And it was like I remember of the food of my grandmother. That's all. I just realized that it's been 13 minutes already and we barely answered like 20 questions. Oh my gosh. What skill do you wish you could download into your brain instantly? Drawing. I want to draw, I want to be good at drawing, but I'm not good at drawing. Oh my gosh. What's a belief you had a few years ago that you no longer hold? Well, there's a bunch, right? I could say the most obvious that like um when I was little I was I was a little asshole, and like uh, treating people badly and stuff, but um, and like believing the normal, like honestly, I gently completely lost and don't know where I was trying to go. Either way, I believe that I had that I don't anymore. When I was young, from because of the family I grew into and stuff, I I used to believe like the patriarchy, like the man's stronger than the woman and the woman blah 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 and that kind of shit. After I watched Alice in Wonderland and of course I also grew a bit, I obviously don't believe in that shit anymore, so if you could master any instrument, which one would you choose? I a piano, I believe. Piano is that kind of instrument that can do a whole song all by itself. Like if you say a guitar, a guitar, a violin, that kind of stuff, they also can sort of do music all by themselves, but not to the extent that a guitar can. Like a guitar, I mean a piano. Like a piano is extremely good, extremely amazing, and it you can do a whole like a bunch of songs, a lot of everything with just a piano, and I just like the way a piano sounds. What's a compliment that you received that stuck with you? Almost all the compliments are stuck with me because I don't receive much. Um, once I received a fan art, right? I also like received a fan art, and the the dearie who did the fan art, like I guess it's not really a compliment, but they said that like they didn't even want me to like if I wanted to post the fan art, that they didn't even need to credit them because just me seeing the fan art already made them feel happy. And of course I did credit them, but um anyways, like that felt so like I don't even know how to explain this because like oh my gosh, man, you you wasted time of your life to make a fan art that, by the way, was beautiful. It's the fan art I'm using as the channel's profile picture right now. And like you already made that beautiful drawing for me with like I didn't even notice when they made that fan art. I didn't know this person. Uh, and like you made this fan art for me, and you you're just that happy with me seeing it that you don't even want me to credit you. That's like holy shit, dude. But I credited the artist anyway because oh, of course, right? They made the fun art. Of course, they deserve to be credited. If you are watching this, dear potato, that's amazing, amazing, amazing. You're an amazing artist. What's a song you never skip when it comes on? There are a few of them, like um songs like the uh, We Gold, We Gold, Agradeço. Uh, there's two more, but I forgot the name. Oh my gosh, there's one called Deixa Doer, and another one. No, I'll search the name here of this song because I can't believe I forgot it. Não me faça falar, ok? I don't know how I forgot the name of this song I love so much. But either way, yeah, it is 4. But there's also like a bunch more songs that I like. Like they aren't really out uh, that special like this 4, but I like there's Friends from Marshmallow. That song's good. There's I Kiss the Girl. That's that song is really nice. What's your comfort food that never fails you? Well, I love grapes and they are like the best fruit ever. They are amazing. Like it's a think with me. They are small, so you don't have to worry about like I want to eat grapes, but I think I'm not that hungry. Maybe I want to be able to finish it. You don't have to worry about that because it's so small. It has a nice like crunchy texture when you bite it, but it's not really crunchy. It's just a little bit hard, but the right amount to be perfect. It has a very nice sweet taste, but not too sweet. It is easily packable. You can like put it in boxes and stuff and carry it around, and it's amazing. You can just pick like go picking one by one and putting it into your mouth, and it also doesn't like since you are almost always touching the outer layer of the grape, you you barely like get your hands dirty, so you don't have to even like worry. Like if you eat an apple, most of the time you are even accidentally going to get yourself dirty, your hand at least. Obviously. But with grapes you don't have this problem because they are perfect, the best creation. If God exists, this is the best creation God ever did. If you had to live in a movie world, which one would it be? Do, do I really have to answer this? I think my answers already made it pretty obvious that I would love to live in Wonderland. What's something people assume about you that isn't true? Now you got me. I I have no idea. I genuinely no idea. Like, what do people think about me? I I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. Uh, maybe. I have an answer actually. When I was in school and college, and um, people used to think that I would be like very like very angry and serious and stuff because I I don't talk a lot. I'm very quiet and I don't really like don't have many emotions in my face. I just kind of stay with the same blank poker face all the time. But I'm not angry or anything. Holy shit, Gusty. But I'm not angry or anything. It's just 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 the way I am. What's the last thing you learned about? Learned that genuinely surprised you? I I don't know. Like we learn stuff every day, but the thing that surprised me. I mean, I could say I don't know if this counts, but otherwise I don't really have an answer. Like, no, I don't have. Okay, I have two answers. The most simple answer would be that like I got surprised when I started making the videos about Black Souls and seeing that people like actually care about my content. Because until that moment, I was mainly doing the videos for myself because like I didn't really think people were actually like had fun watching them and stuff. But seeing that people do it made my day. But the second answer, uh, recently here in Brazil, um, the ex-president, they he is being is like they are having a trial and stuff because they want to put him on jail because he tried to to make a coup d'estat here. Is this how you pronounce this? Coup d'estat? Uh, they tried to take over the government because he lost the elections and he's a little bitch. And what happened was that like Trump became president from the USA, and he tried to basically threaten my country into letting the ex-president go, or he would like put tariffs and stuff onto us and go fuck yourself. But of course my oh my gosh, Gusty, why are you stuttering so much? The the current president, of course, did not bend to the demands because fuck you, USA, you can't control the world. And and what really surprised me, I thought like, okay, the government of course isn't going to obey, but what really surprised me was seeing that there were genuinely people who were like asking for Trump to do that. Like not Americans, but Brazilians asking for that. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Do you want your count? Do you want your country to be fucked? What are you talking about? And they were like, no, uh, uh because USA, and like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? What's a fear that became smaller as you got older? I I used to be scared of like people not liking me or my creations not being enough. Nowadays, I don't really care about that anymore. Like I create whatever I want. I don't care about what people think, and I not really like. Not that I have grown to care about myself. I don't really care if people like me or not. What matters is if I'm happy or not. What object in your room has the most sentimental value? I have a little watch that is like a silver watch, and it's too small for me, unfortunately, because it's a woman's watch. But uh, and I have this watch with me, and it has been like it has been passing being passing it has been passed on for a few generations. Like uh, I don't know how far back it goes, but let's say like it was from my grandmother who passed it to my grandmother, who passed it to my mother, who passed it to me. So I guess that's it. I mean, I don't really like. If I have a child, I want to give it to them. If I don't, then oh well. But I guess this is the objective most sentimental value. If you could experience any place in the world completely alone, where would you choose? There are a bunch of places I would like to be in. Mainly, I think I would like to be in a snowy forest, like in Canada. I really want to go to Canada. I would like to be in a snowy forest and just kind of vibe and enjoy the atmosphere and stuff. Yeah, I would really like it. What's a trait you admire in other people? I honestly admire kindness because, like, with the way the world currently is, everyone is always so ready to judge the others and make fun of him and stuff like that. And people are just generally so rude. Like even in a playful conversation, people are almost all the time swearing at each other and saying bad things, even if playfully to each other. So seeing people being generally kind and respectful is nice, you know. What's a trait you admire in yourself? Well, that's a hard question, Toshka. I I would say, uh, I believe, I like how I'm able to create like a lot of stories and characters somewhat easily, you know, because like I already have like more than 10 stories written, you know, and you know, I not like not often are all that good, but I do have the stories and the characters, and this is something I actually think I'm pretty good at creating stories. You know, what's the best decision I made this year? Um, m- Continue with the channel, I guess. Like the channel I started last year, right, 2024, and I made just a few videos, but I really like started the channel per se in 20. Holy shit! But I only like, let's say, really started the channel and stuff on 2025, and it's the best idea I could have. You know, everything that everything nice that happened to me this year was because of the channel, after all, and the amazing people I've known. What's one thing you want your future self to thank you for? I guess just for continuing the channel or starting the game. Uh, Basically everything, I guess. Now, there's more questions here that Toska made, but it's a lot, a lot, a lot. So we are going to answer Miss Umbra's questions now, and we will go back to Toska's answer questions later. Miss Umbra asked, I'm a bit late for that, but here's my question. What is the story of your game? Like, what are some inspirations you had for it, and what's the main objective for the main character? Well, now you you are screwing with me, Miss Umbra, because of course I can't say the story, you know. But like, what are some inspirations you had for it? Black Souls, Fear and Hunger, and fairy tales in general. Mostly the works of Lewis Carroll. if if you ever feel like, Gusty, aren't you oh shit. If you ever feel like, Gusty, aren't you glazing Lewis Carroll too much? Yes, I love his works. What's the main objective for the main character? Well, that's kinda spoiled, don't you think? And what is something that you may see as silly, but is something that makes you happy? If any of those sound personal, I don't need to answer. No, it's okay, my dear. What's something that you may see as silly, but is something that makes you happy? I I like seeing people interact, like in the comments. Like whenever I do a premiere for one of my videos and stuff, I I talk to the subscribers and stuff, of course. But I also feel extremely happy when I see them talking to each other, you know. Like in the videos of Black Souls 2, whenever like I put the videos to premiere and stuff, and I went to the chat to talk with the subs, but they also talked to themselves, and it actually made me very happy, you know. Like Toska talking to Legendo, and that was really cool, and the other video like Legendo started rumbling about the lore of Lexus 2, and the other subs that were there like talked too, and it was really nice. Now going back to the to Toska's questions. What's the most peaceful moment you had recently? Like peaceful, I don't know, but I mean, uh, peaceful, I'm not exactly sure, but I before Blame Lexus 2, I rewatched Alice in Wonderland, so I could like remember stuff and whatever, and it just felt really nice, like I was reliving a part of my childhood. What's something you consider beautiful that others might overlook? I think it's beautiful, like seeing people's genuine interest in something. Like when a person says like, "Oh, I love this game, I love this series, movie." I think it's generally beautiful, and others might think it's like, okay, you like it and whatever. But I generally think it's something really, really beautiful and pretty. Like seeing how you can grow attached to something that isn't even real, but you love it from the bottom of your heart, and that's something so beautiful. What's a topic you can talk about for hours without getting bored? Well, my creations, but that would be a little too self-centric to say, so I can talk about Pokemon for hours and just games that I love. I can talk. This one is pretty obvious because I haven't, because I have been saying this like every 5 questions or so I say this name again. But I can talk about Alice in Wonderland for hours and hours. I love Alice in Wonderland so much. And like I love fairy tales in general, but Alice in Wonderland is so amazing. What's your definition of home? Home is the place where you feel safe, where you feel happy, the place where you can go to after having a bad day, where you can go to after having a good day. Just the place where you want to be. What's a compliment you struggle to accept? Whenever people say that like my art is good or cute or whatever, I have a little bit of struggle accepting it because I don't think it is. So it's a little bit hard. But I not like that those annoying people that like show you a drawing and you say like, "Oh, this drawing is nice," and they go, "I don't think so," and you say, "No, but I actually enjoyed it," and they go, "No, I don't think so." Like, come on, man. So that's the thing. Even though I might not think that my creations are that good, if people say they enjoy it, cool, it makes me happy. But like I'm not going to be an annoyance and go like, no, but I don't think it's good enough. Like, come on, man. What's the most interesting dream you remember? I had a bunch of dreams, but there was one specific. There were actually a lot, but one of the most recent ones I remember, I I I dreamed that I was like during one of the premieres of my videos, and there was like me, Toska, and Rumia. We three were talking, and and I like this everything here during the dream. Okay, um, I I I, I was in the premiere. I fell asleep, woke up in the holy forest, got called got called a sinner by I was in the holy forest, and then I walked around like, where am I? And I found Catherine, and Catherine called me a sinner. And so I got sad. I walked out of the holy forest. I I found Dorothy's house, and I went inside the house. I found the handsome Gretel, right? And I talked to them. I gave Hansel uh a candy, and I started arguing with Gretel. I started arguing with Gretel, and we st- we started throwing hands at each other. But she, like, instead of fighting normally, she she crawled on my body like a little squirrel, like crawled on my back and stuff, biting me. And I managed to hit her, but she started crying, and I felt sad, like, oh no, please don't cry. So I gave her a candy so she would stop crying. But then Leaf found me, and Leaf was like, who are you? You're not from here. And she like looked at me, and but I don't remember you. I don't created you. And basically she banned me from she banned me from her garden, and I woke up, and I don't know what happened. I think I must have been extremely high to drink this. What's something simple that you think is underrated? Underrated is when something like is good but people don't talk about it, right? I guess. I would say creativity, because I don't know if it's just the people I know or something, but you would be surprised how many people just can't think, like, at all. Like, it annoyed me so much. Like, people can't seem to like uh, think of something out of usual. They just don't think. They just can't think, and this is something that drives me insane. So yeah, just kind of, just the ability to be creative is already something amazing. What's a question you wish people asked you more often? I don't have any specific questions. I would like people to ask me this. I don't have any specific one. But I suppose maybe, like people, like, I would love to see people asking me, like, uh stuff about my creations. What's a feeling you chase? I Happiness, I guess. I don't really have ah the dream of my life, the thing I need to feel happy. I don't really have that. I just kind of want to feel happy. What's something you're genuinely curious about right now? Uh, I I don't know. Like, uh, something you're curious about right now. I don't. I, I really don't know. I'm always curious about stories. Like, I'm always eager to hear new stories and stuff and everything. I really, really love stories, if you can't tell already. Okay, there's even more. And some more. What's a moment in a game that made you feel unexpectedly understood? Unexpectedly understood. Celeste. Actually, no, yes. Celeste. Um, in Celeste, I don't remember the name or anything, but either way, in Celeste, there is a moment where you are like dealing with Madeline, and basically Madeline says to Madeline that, like, uh, I don't remember, but the whole thing of Celeste, of like accepting yourself, and moving on and everything. That's great. If you could bring one underrated game into the spotlight, would you choose? I I don't know. Most of the games I play are already somewhat popular. Like I guess the most expected answer would be something like Black Souls, but I honestly think Black Souls it's better if it does not get to the spotlight because people are fucking crybabies. So I guess I would say if your hunger is already somewhat popular, but that's the best answer I have honestly. What game character do you think most represents you and why? Madeline from Celeste. Like I said, the whole idea of accepting yourself and moving on, and she's trans too. So, um, but yeah, I guess Madeline is a very good pick. Which game character do you empathize the most with and why? In this context, empathize you mean like the character that I most like understand and want to be happy, right? Something like that, I guess. I would say Kokona from non-RPG and the girl from Fear Hunger, cause both are just kids in a hellish world where everything is trying to kill you and stuff. So the two really just poor girls, trying to survive. Elma too, I guess, but Elma at least she already is protected by Grimm. Like the girl and Kokona are too protected by someone, but uh, I don't know. I always felt like they were more in danger than Elma. So, what is your favorite show slash anime? My my favorite show is Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is amazing, 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 amazing. Perfect, perfect. Every single moment of it, perfect. It's so great, in fact, that me and my friend we we actually I don't even remember how this started, to be fully honest. But me and my friend we call each other by the like I call my friend Walter and he calls me Jesse. But, yes, because of Breaking Bad. And because how did this happen? I'll be honest, I don't remember. I don't remember how this happened, but yes, we call each other like that because of the this series. And my favorite anime is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Amazing, impeccable design. I I love the the stance. It's so great, so great. The song references are so cool, and the thing I like about it the most is the appearance, like the beautiful, well designed character design, and the nonsensical world, like some stuff that don't even make sense, but it's so great. And I love the character design so much. People think it's like weird and silly, but I actually think it's so cool. I love it so much because it's different from the usual. Characters usually only wear like uh, a simple like a shirt, a pant. No, but with JoJo's it's so great. They wear like some really weird clothes and the hair is so great. What is your favorite color? No, that's a great question. My color, like the color I see, might be different than the color you see because I'm colorblind, but I would say it's probably pink. Yes, like there's a bunch of colors that I like, and during my entire life, violet specifically has been my favorite color. But just recently, I have been enjoying pink more than violet. But if you ask me what is your specifically the favorite color, I don't really have an answer. I really like red, pink, uh, violet, purple, and yeah, silver. I like silver. 37. What is your favorite food? Grape. I've already said. Grape. Amazing. Perfect. 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 Every aspect of it. Perfect. Down to the last minute detail. How has starting content creation impacted you so far, and are you happy you started? Yeah, actually. Uh, it made me more confident, made me want to bring my creations to life. I made a bunch of friends. I've got to meet an amazing artist. Everything so amazing, man. So genuinely so beautiful. And are you happy you started? Of course. What kind of atmosphere makes you feel the most like yourself? Makes me feel the most like myself. Rainy days. Normally, rainy days make me think, but I really like them. Like when it's, I like it's very early into the morning and it's raining outside. You don't have work to do, you don't have anything to do. That's just perfect, really perfect, really perfect. I I don't know why rain specifically. I just think that like the noise of rain makes me calm down, and it I find it relaxing. So and mostly most of my creations have been created during the rain. So what's something calming that other people might find strange? I like the idea of like I find calming the sense of being solitary because you want. Because like you're not really lonely. You have people who care about you, you have people who love you, but you also have the opportunity to be alone for some time and just relax, you know. So I find it is really something to appreciate. The fact that like you have people who care about you, but you also have your privacy and your option to just stay alone if you want. If you had to describe your personality using only weather, what would it be? Well, would it, would it be too would it be too selfish if I described my personality as gusty? um, but if I could only use a weather to describe my personality, I would describe it as a snowy day during the night. It's like that kind of scenario that like it's dark, yet it's relaxing. It feels like the end of the journey, yet it doesn't feel like a sad goodbye, you know. So that's it. I don't I don't expect to go like to to go on for much longer than I already did, but I want my creations to have some impact on people, you know, like uh, like uh, 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 like this. No, I will only last for a while, but even after I'm done, I want my creations, let's say, the piles of snow that have accumulated underground, to be something that affects people, not in the bad sense, but something that might make them happy, that might make them look forward to another day. Like when you wake up after a snowy day just to create a snowman, you know? What's a small detail in a room that instantly makes you like it more? I like details that like show the personality of the person. Like, let's say you enter a room and there's a little toy, like a little toy. There's a little doll. There's a poster. These kind of things that like show something that the person that owns that room like shows what they really care about, what they really love. That's amazing. What type of story pulls you in even if you know nothing about it? Surrealistic stories are amazing. Let's say it again. Let's say it for the fourth time, for the 400th time. This video. Alice in Wonderland is a nonsense story that doesn't make a single sense and has no real reason to exist. And just because of that, it's the best story ever. It doesn't care that it doesn't make sense. It doesn't care that it's something nonsensical, and that's amazing. The same thing happens with Anna. Both the series and the game make no sense whatsoever. Completely nonsensical. The characters speak things that generally are completely incomprehensible, and it's amazing. It's so amazing. People are too focused on like everything has to make sense. Everything has to be perfectly written. So something that doesn't make sense and still manages to be enjoyable, it's beautiful. What's a decision you always overthink no matter how minor? I always overthink like when talking to people before sending a message. You can be pretty sure that I have like read my own message like at least 3 times already. Trying to think like, is this something appropriate to say? Will they think this is weird? And and yes, I really think a lot before sending messages to anyone, even people that I already know quite well. If someone could only know one true thing about you, what would you want it to be? I mean, I don't know. One true thing about me. I have nothing to hide, so if they could know one true thing about me, I think I would like them to know that like my interest for fairy tales and stuff is genuine, because let's be honest, I say like I say that I like fairy tales a lot, a lot, a lot. So it might sound like something that like okay, dude, sure you like fairy tales. Now shut up. But it's something that I really, really like. So I guess that I don't know. I don't really have another answer, so I go with that. What's a moment from childhood that shaped you? You already know. You already know what I'm going to answer, don't you know? When I was a little girl, I watched Alice in Wonderland for the first time, and and that completely shaped my vision on life and the things that I believed. So Alice in Wonderland shaped my childhood and my life. What kind of challenge makes you feel alive rather than stressed? I struggling with a character's design because like I have created two designs and I can't decide on which one looks better. This this is actually something I smile when I actually do because I think like damn I just that good at I just that good that I created two perfections and can decide which one is better. But only when it's because of the design, not because of the color. Because the color, like I've already said before, when I can see colors out that well, so it kind of hurts when I'm unsure of the color, because I can't help but feel that like if I was simply born different, this wouldn't really be something that affects me, you know. Do you have anyone besides your family that you are very close to, and if so, how did you meet them, and is your relationship with them still good? I have a few. Let's talk about two people in specific. I have that friend that I mentioned it that like I call him Walter, even though that's not his name, and we are still very close. I met them uh, when I was younger, like a kid, right? And I was at school, and I was this is actually funny. I was friends with a guy that was friends with a guy that was friends to to my dear Water, and like and so what happened was years passed, and in the end, me and Water don't really talk to any of them anymore, just to each other, and we are really close now. I mean, we have been close for years already, but you understood what I meant. And there's another person who I won't be saying the name because they don't like Walter isn't the name of the other guy, so that's why I said. But I'm not gonna say the name of this one because oh well. They are very close to me, yeah. And how you've come to meet them. It was actually very silly. I just I was using Twitter and I found this account called Sucubus Flamenguista. Flamenguista is the name of people who cheer for Flamengo, a football team in my country. And so I found it extremely funny, like holy shit, Sucubus Flamenguista, and and I followed them, and they followed me, and we started talking, and just things just went on, and we are friends now. What's a memory you replay often and why? I I often replay the memories of meeting the people that I care about, and like just memories of meeting people generally, because I like to remember like how things were like before I knew them and how things are now, you know. Like I think it's how many times did I say something is beautiful today? I think it's actually yes, beautiful that like um you didn't even know them at the moment, and like you but nowadays they are very close to you, and you 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 already know them, and you are friends, and that's amazing. What's your favorite way to rest or reset after a draining day? I like to to listen to music, to maybe draw a bit, and check the comments in my channel, a lot of things. I get home, I lay on the bed, check if there are any messages, answer them, check the comments, answer the comments, turn on a little bit of music, uh, create a few stories, and yes. So, what's your favorite way to rest or reset after a draining day? I imagining stories in general. Every time, even if unconsciously, like even if I'm not like actively thinking about it, I'm always creating, and I'm not showing off. I'm just being genuinely, like even if I like just listening to a song, I listen to something and I think, man, that could be something cool for my story, and basically that's what I do all the time. So, but actively thinking like, okay, how is the story gonna progress now? What character are gonna do what? Is something that makes me feel cool after a draining day. And this, unfortunately, was the last question. There was a bunch of them, the huge majority was of Toska, of course, but holy shit. But well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Happy 2026, everyone. Yay. This is the very first video of the year. There are surely gonna be more, but yeah, the very first video. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for everyone who made a question. Specifically you two, my dearies, Mizumbra and Toska. I love you so much. Uh, Special thanks to our members, Captain Roma, Toska. I hope everyone had a great new year. I wish to see all of you during this new 2026, right? I'll try to keep the quality and stuff of the channel always growing and bringing more and more videos to you guys. If you are curious what I'm gonna play next on the channel, I have decided to play Gretel and Hansel. And then after that, I'll probably do a poll or something to decide which game. But yeah, thanks so very much for watching, dearies. I hope you guys had fun. If you guys want, I could do more of these videos. Like, if you guys enjoyed this Q&A, just write down in the comments like, Gusty, please, we want more. And I will do it. Thanks very much. I love all of you. Happy New Year, happy 2026. Thanks for the questions. I'm gonna see you all next time. It was a pleasure answering them, really. It felt really good. I had a lot of fun. And I'm gonna see you all next time. Bye bye.